if you tried this? Stop resisting for just 1 minute. Let the storm inside you be exactly what it is. Hear the thought that scares you and do nothing to change it. Feel the tightness in your chest and call it welcome. Picture yourself in a crowded train, late for a meeting, phone buzzing, heart racing, shoulders locked. You grab for control and the world grabs back. Now imagine doing the opposite. You soften, you breathe, you decide that nothing in this moment needs to be different. What happens when you stop wrestling with your life? When you stop being available to the mind's panic, everything changes. Today, we walk through one lens that can reorder your inner world, healing through the eyes of acceptance. There is a kind of pain that does not roar. It hums beneath conversations and behind your smile. It sits beside you at night when the screen goes dark and the next episode cannot help. It is the ache of fighting your own experience. We are trained to manage, to optimize, to conquer, to fix. We patch ourselves with productivity and call it progress, but inside, the body knows. Each avoided feeling asks to be felt. Each rejected thought grows teeth in the dark. Maybe this sounds familiar. You wake already tense. The mind runs its list. The body tightens to match it. You try to think positive and feel worse. You repeat affirmations and feel false. You keep busy so you do not have to be alone with yourself. You keep pleasing so you do not have to risk being seen. There is a cost to refusing reality. The cost is connection to yourself, to others, to life. Control promises safety, but taxes your aliveness. Resistance pretends to protect, but secretly turns your nervous system into a battlefield. Acceptance is not approval. Acceptance is intimacy with what is. Imagine awareness as a wide sky and everything else as weather. Thoughts are clouds, feelings are wind, sensations are rain. Acceptance is the sky remembering it is sky. The weather can be wild, but the sky is never damaged by it. When we accept, we are not saying this is pleasant or this is right. We are saying this is here. By saying this is here, we stop wasting the energy that keeps pain stuck. What we resist persists, not because life is cruel, but because resistance pours attention and energy into what we fear. The psyche learns by what we feed. If we feed the struggle grows. If we feed awareness, awareness grows. The mind is a mirror maker. When an emotion feels too heavy to hold, we cast it outward. The shame we cannot bear becomes criticism of others. The fear we do not name becomes suspicion of their motives. The need we do not honor becomes a story that they are too demanding. Projection is the psyche's way of moving what is inside to the outside, where it feels safer to fight. Through the eyes of acceptance, projection softens. We ask gentler questions. What in me is hurting right now? What in me is seeking safety? What am I pushing onto them that belongs to me? When we reclaim the feeling, the world becomes less hostile. People stop looking like enemies and start looking like messengers. Every time we push a feeling away, we spend energy to keep it away. That energy has to come from somewhere. It comes from your capacity to focus, to rest, to love. This is why chronic resistance feels like burnout without a reason. The mind is overclocked, defending the borders of an imaginary war. Acceptance redirects psychic energy. The moment you allow a sensation to be present, you stop paying the tax of suppression. The energy returns to you, available for healing and for choice. Pain may still be here, but suffering begins to loosen. Pain is what happens. Suffering is what we add when we refuse what happens. Your nervous system listens to your posture toward reality. When you brace against a feeling, your body takes that as a cue that danger is near. Adrenaline rises, breath shortens, vision narrows, survival modes take over, and nuance disappears. When you practice acceptance, you communicate safety. The body receives the message that this moment can be experienced as it is. Breath deepens, muscles soften, vision widens. The prefrontal cortex comes back online. Choice returns. This principle does not only transform your inner life, it flips patterns in your relationships. When you stop chasing, those who depended on your pursuit to feel valuable may feel threatened. Detachment often triggers control narratives in others. They may accuse you of being cold, unavailable, or selfish. What is actually happening is that your self-acceptance is refusing to play the old game. Love without compliance can look like rebellion to those who relied on your compliance. When you stop managing other people's emotions, you return their feelings to their rightful owner. Some will rise to meet that responsibility. Some will punish you for no longer carrying what was never yours. Either way, your nervous system learns a new truth. You do not have to abandon yourself to keep the peace. When you accept your sadness, you stop needing your partner to fix you. The relationship becomes a place of honest witnessing rather than mutual rescue. When you accept your anger, you stop outsourcing it as criticism. You set clean boundaries without theatrics. Calm clarity replaces desperate control. Acceptance is not giving up, it is giving back. It gives reality back to reality. It gives you back to yourself. Surrender is not collapse. Surrender is intelligent cooperation with life as it is, so you can direct your energy where you actually have power. Acceptance is not passive, it is precise. It is a disciplined yes to what is here, so your no can be clean where it matters. The wound is the place where the light enters you. This is true not because pain is holy, but because openness makes healing possible. Myth 1. If I accept this, it will never change. Truth. Acceptance is the precondition for skillful change. You cannot steer a car you refuse to admit you are in. Name what is actually happening, and you can respond instead of react. Myth 2. Acceptance means letting people walk all over me. Truth. Acceptance sees people as they are, and seeing clearly is the foundation of boundaries. You accept that this person disrespects your time. Now you can say no without arguing with reality. Myth 3. Acceptance makes me weak. Truth. Resistance is the leak. Acceptance plugs the leak and returns your power to you. A river does not fight the riverbank. It uses it to move with force. Let us move from theory into embodied action. These small practices are doorways. Enter with gentleness. 3 times a day, pause for 60 seconds. Close your eyes and ask, what sensation is most alive right now? Do not analyze. Name it out loud. Tightness in chest, heat in face, weight in stomach. Then say, this belongs. Breathe into that area for 5 slow breaths. If tears come, let them. If nothing comes, accept that too. The goal is intimacy, not drama. Practice the acceptance breath. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4, silently saying, let. Exhale through your mouth for a count of 6, silently saying, be. On the exhale, soften the muscles around the eyes, the jaw, and the belly. Repeat for 2 minutes. This cues your nervous system toward safety and makes acceptance a felt experience, not just a concept. Use the projection pause. When you catch yourself blaming someone in your mind, pause. Ask, what emotion in me is asking to be felt? Place a hand on your chest and say, of course you feel this. Stay with the raw feeling for 90 seconds. Only after you have felt it, decide what action, if any, is needed. This turns reaction into response. Use the boundary sentence, I accept that this is important to you. I am not available for that. No extras. Acceptance acknowledges their reality. The boundary protects yours. Evening integration. Before sleep, dim the lights and write 3 lines. Today I resisted and name the moment. Today I accepted and name the moment. What shifted in my body? Over time, you will track the subtle reorganization within you. You do not heal by becoming who you are not. You heal by allowing who you are to be fully felt. At work, you receive critical feedback. The impulse is to defend, explain, justify. Acceptance says, separate the pain of hearing this from the truth inside it. You breathe. You feel the sting without fighting it. Suddenly, you can hear the usable data. You keep dignity and growth. In family, a parent repeats the comment that always hooks you. Instead of collapsing or exploding, you accept the pattern. This is who they are right now. You release the fantasy of a different parent and become your own. You speak less. You choose contact length. You leave the call before resentment builds. Love becomes cleaner because it is not based on pretending. In health, your body aches. You are tired of being tired. Acceptance is not a pink filter, it is a clear mirror. You say, I am exhausted. You stop negotiating with your limits. You schedule rest like medicine. Paradoxically, your energy increases because you are not spending it on self-betrayal. In romance, you notice the anxiety that surges when texts slow down. Old habits beg you to cling or to punish. Acceptance says, anxiety is here. I can hold me. You breathe. You do not send the sixth message. You walk. You return to center. If the relationship cannot meet you there, you will know without burning your life down. In spirituality, you sit to meditate and your mind screams. You think, I am failing at peace. Acceptance reframes it. This is the practice. Let the storm be a storm while you remain the sky. Thoughts rise and fall. You do not chase. You do not judge. Over time, the mind trusts you to stop fighting it. Silence is no longer a stranger. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means you are no longer available to be dragged by the old hooks. In groups, this scrambles scripts. The rescuer script. You used to soothe everyone. Now you accept your capacity. You say, I care and I cannot take this on. Some will call you selfish because your sacrifice was their safety net. Reality checking protects your peace. Their discomfort is their teacher now. The persecutor script. Someone escalates when you do not comply. Acceptance sees escalation as information, not as a command. You step out of the triangle. You do not defend your worth. You protect your time. You let their story exist without trying to edit it. The game collapses when you stop supplying your role. The victim script. A friend repeats a complaint for the 10th time. Acceptance listens with compassion, but with boundaries. You ask, are you wanting empathy or solutions? If they want neither, you accept that they are practicing stuckness. You choose how much of your life you give to that dance. These shifts are not about superiority, they are about sanity. Acceptance stabilizes your center, and the social weather loses its power to capsize you. To stop the scroll, begin with a jolt, a question, and a promise of transformation. What if peace is not something you earn, but something you stop refusing? You are not broken, you are bracing. What happens if you stop? Let the feeling finish its sentence and see what it was trying to give you. When you stop being available to chaos, chaos loses your number. If control is your religion, here is your prayer. Let be. Each line interrupts autopilot, triggers curiosity, and invites immediate participation. Act 1. Chaos. You are in the train, late, breath shallow, mind loud. You want to grip harder. Act 2. Insight. You remember what we resist persists. A window opens. You see that your fight with reality is the heaviest thing you carry. Act 3. Practice. You try the breath. You name the sensation. You notice the first ripple of calm that is not control, but presence. Act 4. Social shift. You stop fixing someone's feelings. They protest. You hold steady. Later they show up more honestly, or they drift. Either outcome feels clean. Act 5. Integration. The evening ritual gathers your day like a string through beads. Slowly, your life organizes itself around truth instead of tension. Acceptance expands the container of self so that exiled parts can return. When the container is small, intense emotions feel like invaders. When the container grows, intensity is metabolized. Energy that was bound in defense re-enters circulation. Creativity returns, humor returns, love returns. If this helped you feel a little more like the sky and a little less like the storm, subscribe for more weekly practices in the art of letting be. Your presence here strengthens this field of calm. We host a monthly live practice where we sit together, breathe together, and turn acceptance into a body memory. If you want that support, the link is in the description. Next part, we will explore the harder edge of acceptance. How to hold acceptance when the past was unfair, when the wound was not your fault, and when forgiveness feels impossible. We will talk trauma-informed acceptance, how to titrate, and how to avoid spiritual bypass. Stay with me for that. Your nervous system will thank you. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your heart, one on your belly. Inhale for 4, let. Exhale for 6, be. Feel the temperature of your hands. Feel the weight of your body. Let the jaw unclench. Let the shoulders drop. Find the place in your body that is most alive right now. Offer it presence. Do not fix it. Do not analyze it. Presence is medicine. Stay for 3 more breaths. Notice what shifts, even if it is 1%. Honor that 1%. This is how mountains move. 1 breath at a time. Common challenges arrive. You accept for a minute and the feeling gets stronger. This is common. When you stop suppressing, the backlog emerges. Think of it as thawing a frozen river. The ice breaks before the water flows. Keep sessions short and frequent, 60 to 90 seconds, several times a day. Build capacity. You fear acceptance will make you passive. Anchor acceptance to values. After you feel, ask, what action honors me here? Acceptance first, aligned action second. Feeling is not the finish line. It is the starting point for clean movement. You accept in private but collapse in public. Practice micro-acceptance in public. 1 soft breath, 1 gentle sentence. I can feel this and remain. You will rewire your default under real conditions. You do not trust yourself to feel without drowning. Find a steady other, a therapist, a group, a friend who can sit without fixing. Co-regulation is a bridge to self-regulation. Lean on it with dignity. Healing through the eyes of acceptance is not a trick. It is a relationship with breath, with sensation, with truth. It is a vow you repeat daily. I will not abandon myself. You will forget. You will resist. You will tighten. Then you will remember. You will soften. You will allow. And in that allowing, something ancient relaxes. You meet yourself at last, not as a project, but as a presence. You do not need a perfect moment. You need this moment, as it is, as you are. Let the weather do what weather does. Be the sky. If this speaks to you, comment with the words, I allow what is. Write it not as a slogan, but as a promise to your own nervous system. I allow what is. Then read your words back to yourself and feel their truth. May you walk through this day with a little more softness. May you learn the courage of letting be. May your energy return to you as you stop spending it on war with what is. And when the storm rises, may you remember, acceptance is not an escape. Acceptance is home. Subscribe for more and join us in the comments with I allow what is.